Welcome back. I'm Matt Lovell, and I am delighted again to be joined by retail expert CIO John Wegg. Welcome, John.
Thanks very much, Matt. Delighted to be back here again with you today.
Thanks for coming back on the channel again. And I thought today we'd touch on a really important topic in terms of how the immersive customer experience is rapidly changing in the retail sector just now.
Yeah, absolutely. And experiences, of course, could be as simple as trying things on, sizing, even customization, such as we see in sports apparel. And from a digital perspective, it could be virtual dressing rooms, magic mirrors, and so on. And so when we talked last time, we talked about back in 2019, people referred to Retail 2.0, and retailers were clamoring to provide immersive experiences in store to attract consumers. Now, here we are in 2020 with Retail 2.5, and these experiences need to be available across any channel that the consumer wants to interact with the brand on, i.e. they need to be truly omnichannel. And there's been a notable change in customer behaviour as well. Increased technology adoption, driving e-commerce and digital engagement, and a strong drop in travel and entertainment, reduction in luxury and large capital investments. So it's no longer beneficial for retailers to link offers to things like travel and entertainment events. And during the lockdown period, we've seen dependence on employee health. Many retail associates have been furloughed, and this has led to reduced retail productivity and a loss of the critical activity of customer engagement. And safety is now key and more important challenge for store operations. They need to provide sufficient space, regular cleaning, even things like quarantined inventory for customer click and collect have to be specially stored, can't be touched without the need for more cleaning. And as we've recently witnessed with Leicester here in the UK and with Melbourne in Australia, ongoing lockdowns are likely to be a thing of the future. So what are people doing with experiences? Well, even companies like Airbnb, who used to provide physical experiences, are now moving those online. You still need to book and pay in the same way, but instead of going to visit your host joins you virtually through your television or through your mobile device. And similarly, in-store experiences could be migrated to virtual experiences in just the same way. For example, virtual dressing room experiences, online cosmetic products, and so on. That virtual trying on of things could just be transformed to your home. Although the human element that you can provide in store will be an important differentiator, which we'll talk about in a future one of our conversations. So this bringing what were previously physical experiences to the hands of the consumer requires them to be technically designed with that in mind. Cloud-based to be available from anywhere, secure, and dynamically scalable to play optimally on the consumer's device, whatever platform they're using, whatever size of device, whether they're on iOS, Android, etc. And what we're also seeing is that in-store footfall or heat mapping systems are being leveraged to identify and avoid customer congestion. And it's becoming important to tackle queuing, providing messaging alerts to customers' mobile devices to enable them to queue without actually standing in line, and to time their arrival to the store to get in. And previously, something we would only see in theme parks will now become prevalent in retail. And it's managing multiple queues, because it's the entry to the mall, it's the entry to the store, and then maybe it's also the appointment with the sales associate for the experience.
And it's linking that together, isn't it? It's something that we wouldn't necessarily, as you say, the theme park analogy is fantastic, because before, queuing was never a dimension within the customer persona or part of our thought process of how long is it going to take me to get into the store, and what's my experience, going to be, how long is the queue, and obviously the social distancing thereafter. But it is much more than that, and it's linking that online capability to personalize and customize and have that virtual experience with the fact that that might not be sufficient to actually see it, when we do want to experience and seeing it and linking the intelligence, which we'll talk about, as you say, in a later episode, of that in-store knowledge that we capture, whether it's through technology or it's through the expertise of the assistants in the retail space, and tying that together with that digital experience, isn't it? It really is quite challenging, isn't it, for retailers right now?
Absolutely. Technology has always been important in retail, but now more so than ever. And getting that architecture right from the outset to enable you to be able to pivot and use those, provide all those different needs that the consumer in Retail 2.5 now has.
And it's not just seasonality that is a peak challenge, or perhaps, as it was before, but almost daily challenges depending on where the footfall is, or obviously the queuing levels and the customer activity. So we've really changed that landscape dynamic and the need for systems to be so much more agile and responsive, haven't we? Just very quickly.
It's a very good point. And in fact, seasons almost don't mean anything anymore. So it's a whole different set of dynamics that is now critical for retailers.
Fantastic insight as ever, John. Look forward to seeing you on the next episode, and thanks for your time today.
Thank you very much. Great speaking to you.